way back in December, we had a hard freeze. And this is Florida, so I wasn't prepared for that. Freeze lasted several days. Everything started thawing out, and half the water in that tub disappeared overnight. So I pulled a panel off of it, got it out of the way, inspected the problem, found out that one of the pumps got frozen and busted. Now that was over 6 months ago, and I still haven't found the time to get it fixed. We're gonna do something about that in this video. Now we all know that when something goes unused, it falls apart. And because these panels were off this tub and nothing out here has been used because the tub is not available, everything started going to crap. So we got several things we got to fix. Let's get started. So way back when, my neighbor gave me this old square body Chevy bed just to get it out of her yard, and since I didn't have enough stuff in my yard, I brought it home. So the original plan was to use this to put the hot tub in because it's wide enough. Wouldn't require much modification. Even had a tailgate with it. Problem was, this was all beat up, which wasn't as big a deal as the fact that this is a long bed, which means it's probably about 1.5 feet, 2 foot too long for this project. So that knocked that out. Ooh, look, a bumper. We've already talked about this truck. Here a hole, there a hole, everywhere a hole. And somebody stole the roof. But somehow the bed floor is in good shape. So let's save that for future use. Now the easiest way to take care of this would be to cut it right here. We all know that this is double walled, but because we want to save as much of this bed floor as possible, we're going to end up cutting it further up here. The only problem I see with that is going to be back here, but we'll figure that out when we get to that point. Meanwhile, if we cut it sort of right in the middle of this curve, then maybe we can save more of the bed floor while at the same time getting everything we need for our project. That double wall might be a bigger issue than I thought it was going to be. Dadgummit. I've decided this really would have been easier if I had taken the bed off, flipped it over, cut everything on the bottom, flipped it back over, then cut out the top. But we're halfway done now, so let's just keep going. There we go. After I did that first side, this side only took about an hour. Joe got a new tonneau cover for his 63 Chevy C10, so he gave us the frame off his old tonneau cover and we're going to use that for this project. Thanks, Joe. Good enough. Alright, here's something that I didn't anticipate. I knew that this lip at the bottom of the bed was going to hang out past the bottom of the rail that's going to be the quote-unquote support rail. But I did not anticipate the fact that it leans further in S10 Hot. Go figure. I should have known that was a bad idea because I caught my towel on fire, which in turn burned the edge of the tub right there, but that's fine. We'll deal with that later. Well, that ain't gonna work. Getting closer. We'll see what happens. Well, that got messy rather quick. Alright, here's my thought process. If we're going to save these pinstripes, why don't we go ahead and save some of the original paint, i.e. this stripe in the middle, give it a 3-tone pinstripe, and we might end up, because of the width of my Dollar General tape here, we might end up with just a hair of original gold below the pinstripe, which might tie all that together. So let's find out. We'll see. Oh, we definitely gonna have some runs in this. Beautiful. Let's see if the rest of it works out that way. Oh yeah. I think that'll be just fine. Okay. I think this part's boring. Let's skip this. Now granted, it was only like 900 degrees out here, but I kind of got the feeling that maybe I should have done this back in February. So Joe came over and we took that tractor and moved that, the tub that was there over to here, where it came from. And I'm an idiot, because I didn't record any of it. I set my camera stand up, didn't even bother putting a camera on it, much less hitting record. Duh. So last night, I got this thing cleaned out and filled up, and we got in it. And the water was 68 degrees and absolutely wonderful. But every time I look at it, I feel like something's missing. Ooh, look, a bumper. I had Joe come over and cut some more concrete out. Apparently there's something wrong with my measuring tape, because I'm pretty sure my measurements should have been accurate. Now I will say that I would much rather prefer a roll pan instead of that big full-size bumper, but I don't think they make a roll pan for a 6-foot wide S10. Matter of fact, that bumper is not as wide as this truck bed is in reference to the way it would normally sit on a full-size truck. Overall, I'm extremely pleased with this project. Now this go around, I installed some pneumatic switches so that I could control everything better. It's way better than having to get out of the tub, especially when you buck naked and go turn something on or off, like the lights or the heat pump or the tub. I absolutely love the way these pinstripes turned out, especially with this original gold paint in the center. It turned out beautifully. The new paint tends to change shades anytime the light hits it from a different direction or with a less intensity, something like that. So every now and then this top stripe blends in with the color of the truck and just sort of fades away. But then you've got the area here which reflects light, as it's doing right now, and it sort of becomes a new pinstripe. That's absolutely beautiful to me. That's the hole where the filter goes. And if I can get one of these that's in better condition than this one that's not all beat up and bent, I'll trim it down and make it fit that hole properly. Until then, I just got to do that with it. I should also point out, just out of full disclosure, that the front end of the tub is not finished yet, but that's going to have to wait. Now the reason that's got to wait is because this project sort of ended up on a timeline. The timeline being that tomorrow I'm scheduled to have an outpatient surgery. By the way, if you're watching this video, I must be fine, because I'm going to use the 7 to 14 days of recuperation time to do some video editing. That's a reverse light. I think it does a pretty good job. Now I just got to figure out how to clean up all this mess. And that's my favorite part of this tub. Now, we all know this ain't a how-to channel, but we did skip a lot more in this video than we normally do. And the reason is, this project took a month and a half. I only get a little bit of time at the day to work on it each day. So, month and a half, 16 hours of raw video footage reduced down to a less than 20-minute video. Peace, love, and mini trucks.